swirl into stories sweet and wise, with jalebi songs and big bright eyes. From temples to trees, from kings and tales, we welcome you to the Jalebi Tales, the Jalebi Tales, the Jalebi Tales, the Jalebi Tales.
Hello, little explorers! Welcome back to Jalebi Tales, where history and mystery meet. Today's story is all about a little girl who grew up to be the wisest princess of them all, and a boy who was once laughed at by everyone, but became one of the greatest poets in the world, Kalidasa. But shh! This story has drama, tricks, and even a secret sign language challenge. So sit back, open your imagination wide, because our story begins.
Long, long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a little girl named Vidyottama. Even as a child, she was special. While other children played with toys, Vidyottama loved to play with words. She learned to read faster than anyone in the palace school. She read big scrolls and remembered every detail. She listened to the wise scholars and quickly solved their riddles. Sometimes even grown-ups came to debate with her, and to everyone's surprise, this young girl could answer like a teacher. The king and queen smiled proudly. "Our daughter is the brightest jewel of our kingdom," they said. As she grew older, her love for learning only increased. When she became a young woman, Vidyottama announced, "I will only marry a man wiser than me." Princes and learned men from faraway lands came to the court. One by one, she debated with them, and one by one, they failed to match her sharp mind. The courtiers admired her brilliance, but some whispered, "She is becoming too proud." The courtiers secretly said to each other, "She thinks no one can outsmart her. Let us find someone unexpected." They wandered into the nearby forest, and there, under a shady tree, they saw a young, handsome man cutting a branch. But he was sitting on the wrong end of it. "Hey you, what are you doing? You will fall!" And snap! Down he fell with the branch. Ha 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 ha! The courtiers laughed quietly. "He is perfect!" The woodcutter, as foolish as he was, rushed to the courtiers. "You must be fortune tellers. You were able to predict my fall? Sir, please predict my future. What will become of me?" "Ha ha! Yes, we can predict your future. It is brilliant. Just do what we say." They bathed him, dressed him in silks, and whispered, "Come, we are taking you to the palace. You are lucky. You are going to marry a princess. But one condition. When you meet the princess, do not speak. Just leave it to us." When the courtiers brought the disguised woodcutter to the royal court, they bowed low before the princess and said, "Your Highness, this is Kalidasa, a man of great learning." Of course, they had just made up the name on the spot. Then one of the courtiers added cleverly, "But he is observing a vow of silence, a penance to honor the gods. He speaks only through signs." The princess raised her eyebrows. A scholar who debated without words? That sounded impressive. She agreed to test him in sign language, thinking, if he can answer me through gestures alone, then truly he must be wise. The courtiers brought the woodcutter to the royal court. The princess looked at him carefully. A man of wisdom, they say, she thought. To test him, she raised one finger. She implied, there is only one supreme knowledge. The woodcutter, confused, thought she was threatening him. He quickly showed two fingers, meaning, I will poke both your eyes. The courtiers gasped, then bowed and said, did you see that, Your Highness? He says there are two kinds of knowledge, heavenly and earthly. The princess wanted to test him again. This time, she slowly raised her 5 fingers, wide open. She meant there are 5 great elements in nature: earth, water, fire, air, and space. The woodcutter didn't understand her meaning. He thought nervously, she's going to slap me. So he quickly raised a closed fist, as if to say, I will box you back. The courtiers gasped softly, then immediately bowed and said with great admiration, brilliant, Your Highness. You showed 5 fingers, the 5 elements of nature. He answered with a closed fist. He means if you bring all 5 elements together and harness them, you gain true power and wisdom. The princess's eyes widened with amazement. What a deep answer, she thought. This second test convinced her even more that this man must be truly wise. The princess was amazed. At last, someone wiser than me. And so she married him. The courtiers chuckled. We have got our revenge. She will learn to be humble now. And so the princess was delighted with this simple man who seemed so clever with his hand gestures. The royal wedding bells rang, and Kalidasa became the husband of the proud and brilliant Princess Vidyottama. But happiness doesn't always last forever. What will happen when the princess discovers the truth that her new husband may not be the scholar she imagined? Will this simple woodcutter ever rise to become one of the greatest poets in India's history? Don't miss part 2 of the story of Kalidasa, from fool to genius.